Good evening, everyone. Welcome to first rounds of the Papa Champs second season. Start off with Australia, 2 races, one 25%, one 35%. Get this season started. Last week we saw the dress rehearsal in Abu Dhabi, also 2 races. But now we finally get to start the new season. Couple of moments. Qualifying, and then the first race, and beat that for the next race. "17 drivers right now. Very good to see. 16, excuse me. Hello, mighty Oliver. Forward to finally see cars on track fighting for real championship points. And there we go. Getting ready. First qualifying, one-shot qualifying, and the first race of the season. See who are gonna be on top tonight after the first 2 rounds. A long season. Start off with the Victoria Grand Prix. That's how it's called. So in a few moments time we'll get this qualifying started. There we go, a bit earlier than planned, but a bit difficult to qualifying, but we're gonna try our best. Someone very wide and into the wall. Lone Wolf going off, and Scott is out as well. Or into turn 1 already in that sim racer right now in first place. Looks like we might restart it. Someone went up ready too early. So we're gonna try it again. Fortunate. Did it, but right, so a bit of a delay. Get this up and running. There we go. So last week, during the dress rehearsal, we had Vapid Koot winning the first race in Abu Dhabi, and the second race went to Kaal. Full Paris defending mode. Quite enjoyable to watch. Great action on track as well tonight. Like all the drivers are in the lobby again. Can get started soon. I can select his car. There we go. And, ready up once again for attempt number 2. So we try again. It's a bit cloudier this time actually. Few minutes time. Can get this qualifying running. And someone went ready again. They were allowed to, but they're not gonna restart this time. Anyway, starting the laps this time. Already 2 drivers retiring before turn 1. That Sim Racer once again in the lead, like we saw him in the first attempt of disqualifying. Purple through the first sector. Wreckmeister Gamer in P2, but this P2 has been stolen there by Scott. Still that Sim Racer in P1, Purple wants sector 1, Purple sector 2, a bit slidey there on the exit of the S-chicane in the middle sector. Braking hard, don't go too wide on the exit, keeping it nice and clean throughout the final sector. Then the final 2 corners. Very tidy through the final corner. DRS open, and it's going to be a run to the line. And it's going to be a 17-1, and that's pole position for that Sim Racer in the first race, and it's by quite the margin, 6/10 to P2. Scott in the end manages to secure P3 ahead of Vapid Coot. Kozlowski in P5, 1/10 behind, and then it's quite a big gap to Kasimri in P6. Then Taz, Panda, Josh Winai, Wyvern Skull, Josh, not a Bosch, Josh Boschman, Kyle, and a few drivers managed to not set a time. And that's the grid for the first race. So that's Sim Racer on pole position. See if he can convert it into a race win. It's looking very quick. 6/10 margin. it's quite the gap. Gonna be difficult for the rest of the drivers to close that gap. We'll see. Anything can happen, of course. Waiting a few minutes before start. Hopefully, everyone actually waits those few minutes this time. And we are starting. We're starting. All right, formation lap. Green lights go on, and everyone has to warm their tires to the optimum temperature. A few minutes earlier than planned. And it looks like someone has been disqualified. It's Wyvern Skull. He must have made some sort of contact with someone. But he's on the grid already and he's gonna have to start the race with freezing cold tires. Probably gonna lose a couple of positions at the start. That Sim Racer leading the field ahead of his teammate. Wreckmeister Gamer. The Sim Racer driving fairly slowly, holding up the entire field. Just using the third gear strategy to warm up your tires. Instead of weaving like some others do. That's certainly the best strategy. Burns fuel and less tire wear as well. So it's a win-win situation, and the tires warm faster as well. So a win-win-win situation actually. Anyway, through the final two corners, that Sim Racer entering the main straight. Everyone is gonna have to line up in their grid slots. To get this race going. Someone is doing very interesting lines there. Not sure who that was, but right, final cars. Wyvern Skull. No, Angelo is disqualified as well. So everyone lined up on the grid. Lone Wolf disqualified as well. 5 red lights are on for the first race of the season, and the lights are out and we're on the way. I can't see anything, but it's the Sim Racer with a very good start. Leading the field, Scott already on the outside and taking P2 even before turn 1. Everything goes well behind. Few onto the grass, but nothing too dramatic. At Sim Racer leading this race ahead of Scott. Wreckmeister Gamer fallen down to P3. Ahead of Vabit Koot in P4, then it's already a 1 second gap, and we've got a retirement. Taz is retired, and Winai has lost his front wing as well. So that's coming out of turn 3. Taz into the wall, and it's a virtual safety car. Virtual safety car deployed, first neutralization of this race, not a full safety car. The Winai lost his front wing, and I think he's not the only one. No, he's not. So Josh B has also lost his front wing, so they are both gonna have to pit. It says virtual safety car, but on the minimap I think it's full safety car. Yeah, it's a full safety car. So just like last week in Abu Dhabi, with a safety car after just a few turns, and it's the same thing here. 3 turns in and order the safety car, and that's Sim Racer going into the pit lane on the first lap. Let's see what tires he's on. Softs. And he's gonna go onto the hard compound tire. And probably finish this race. Scott has stayed out for some reason. I don't get why you should stay out while you're on the soft tires, but interesting call. Chris Lesko and Josh Boschman has also stayed out on the softs. The rest of them have all pitted to the hards, except for Angelo Lissimo and Winai. Winai's gone onto the mediums, and I don't think that's allowed. I'm pretty sure, just like last week, the mediums are illegal. Anyway, Scott now leading this race, because that's Sim Racer now in P7 in the middle of the pack on these fresh hard tires. Waiting for the pack to catch up. Probably gonna do one more lap behind the safety car. Before we get going under green flags. So it's quite a gamble that Scott has taken here. Because basically what he needs is another safety car. Because if there's not going to be another safety car, then all the drivers that have pitted to the hards are going to have a massive advantage. Angelo is going into the pit lane as well from the softs. Which is a good call. I think he started on the hards, then went to the softs and goes back to the hards. Yes, he does. Probably can finish the race on those tires. Will he fall out behind Winai? It's very close on the pit exit, but I think he is behind. Or is he? No, he has to. Winai had the legal overtake. So it's P14 then. And it was Winai who hit the right rear tire of Taz coming out of turn 3 and sent them both to the wall, and Taz is of course out of the race. Winai lost his front wing, but he is still in the race. And there we go, safety car in this lap. Gonna get back to green flag racing shortly. Scott bunching up the field. Entering the final sector. Everyone trying to warm up their tires as much as they can. Through turns 12, soon turns 13. Safety cars not yet in the pit lane. Now yeah, so when is Scott gonna go? Into turn 14, the final corner. And he's not going yet. Still waiting. Still waiting. There he goes, finally. He gets the race running, and we're on to green flag conditions again. Green, green, green. Scott leading the race. Wreckmeister Gamer in P2. Fabit Good under pressure there from Panda from behind. Is he going to try and go for a move on the outside? Not quite, behind him. Few moves taking place, let's go, and then it's Josh, and that's Sim Racer already up to P6. So he's made his way up one position already at the safety car restart, and there's been an incident behind. And it's Angelosimo and Kyle have collided. And they've both been given a penalty by the game. That Sim Racer flying at the moment up at the P5 already. Panda also looking for a move on Vapid Good and trying to go around the outside here. That's not gonna work. And he backs out of it. And he's got that Sim Racer around the outside and he's up at the P4. And it's a poor exit for Panda when he moves Kislesko as well up the P5. So trying to go for a move into the chicane was probably the worst decision he could have made, because now he's lost 2 positions. Down to P6. That Sim Racer looking very quick at the moment. Already gained 3 position in the first lap after the safety car. He's also the first car of the ones who have already pitted Josh Boschman into the pits as well. From the soft compound tire. Scott creating a small gap to P2, 1.4 seconds. Meister Gamer holding up these guys a bit. Vapid Good a few tenths behind. That Sim Racer as well. A bit closer, 1 tenth, and he pulls alongside and he's already passed. And that Sim Racer up at the P3. So back into the podium positions. Looking very quick right now, and he's behind his teammate now, so I bet he won't make it very difficult for him. There he goes, out of the way. And that Sim Racer is up at the P2 again. 2 laps after the safety car restart, and he's gained 5 positions already. 1.8 seconds to Scott in P1. Fastest lap of the race, 120.5, becomes 120.1 by that Sim Racer, 4 tenths quicker while overtaking other cars and on the hard compound tire as well. DRS has been enabled. It's almost being 3 wide there into turn 3, and it's Winai up at the P8. So he's gained a few positions there. Very good move there, and Josby down to P9. He's got skates for company on the inside, but he backs out of it. But he can try to go for it with DRS assistance. And Josby has got no ERS left. But he has got the DRS still of Winai ahead. Meanwhile, Vapid Good has got past Rekmeister, but he's trying to come back on the inside into turn 13. Vapid Good tries to hang it around the outside. We'll have the inside line, but Rekmeister stays in P3 for the time being. Lesko also looking very close behind. Vapid Good is going to try to go down the inside into turn 1, and it's the Lone Wolf is retired. Vapid Good takes P3 there, up into the podium positions. And that Sim Racer had a moment, he's dropping down to P5. What's going on here? He's got a puncture for that Sim Racer. This is unbelievable. That Sim Racer has got a front left puncture and is going into the wall and out, and he's out of the race. Sim Racer's crashed out of the race. This is unbelievable. He was looking so quick and looking for a certain victory, but it's over. Probably ran across some debris and got a puncture, and yeah, the car is not gonna turn with a puncture. And he's not the only one. Double puncture here for Angelosimo. What is going on? He's sideways on the straight. And another puncture. Josby has got puncture as well. What is going on? And Sky as well. 5 drivers with a puncture. What am I watching? This is unbelievable stuff. Josby has been disqualified. There's all been disqualified. A puncture, yeah. You can't drive with a puncture on this game. Scott going into the pit lane. He's still in the middle of the straight. These guys are gonna have to avoid him, and he's fortunately he's gone now. Oh my goodness me. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Wreckmeister in the lead. Vapidgood tried to go around the outside into turn 2 and he breaks later and he takes the lead. Vapidgood into the lead on lap 8. Scott has pitted. He's down to P8, P9. Wreckmeister still very close though to Vapidgood. And he's gonna have to DRS for this straight. Not deploying any ERS. And he opens the rear wing and he takes back that lead. Going wheel to wheel through turns 8 and 9. And Wreckmeister is back into the lead. Vapidgood has settled for P2 for the time being. Shimri has found his way into P3 somehow. We lost like 5 drivers in the span of a single lap. Winai is back to P4 after that dramatic opening lap. Wyvern Skull is somehow in P5. Kyle in P6. So 2 drivers left to make a pit stop. One in P1 and P2, Wreckmeister and Vapidgood. Meaning that Kashimri is the provisional race leader at the moment. Which is absolute insane stuff here. Vapidgood still in close contention to the car ahead. When are these drivers gonna pit? Is the question. Winai is of course on the mediums and I don't think it's allowed. So he will probably get disqualified after the race. Meaning that Wyvern Skull at the moment is in a provisional P2. Wreckmeister has gone into the pit lane. From the hards is he going to go onto the new set of soft tires. Where is he going to come out? It's going to be P4 or... Oh no, it's going to be P5. Probably... just about P5 there. But he's of course on much fresher, faster rubber. Lesko's moved up to P6. And he's very close behind. He tries to go around the outside of the turn 1. Sky is retired. They're almost going 3 wide here on the second straight. Kyle is trying to go to the inside. Oh, big lock up there. Because let's go up to P5 and Wreckmeister is in P6. Trying to warm up his tires as much as he can. No damage limitation, but he is ahead of Scott at the moment. Scott on the hards as well. Up to P7 now as he gets past Kyle. Coming out of turn 8. Wonder if Vapidgood is gonna pit this lap, and he is. There he goes into the pit lane. Final driver to pit. Gonna go onto the softs as well. Where is he gonna come out compared to Wreckmeister? That's the big question here. Shimri and Winai are way ahead of everyone else. They've basically checked out already. Wreckmeister going wheel to wheel and he gets ahead of Vapidgood and Kuslesko, so he's up to P4 right now on the new softs. He can try and chase after Wyvern Skull, but then the gap is 9 seconds to Winai in P2. That's gonna be tough to close the gap with only a few laps left in this race. The whole train of cars here. Basically the entire field here from P3 to P10 is there, and Wreckmeister's obviously passed Wyvern that took him not very long. P3 already. 9 seconds is the gap with 4 laps remaining in this race. Can he do it? There's Kozlowski round the outside of Wyvern Skull. And he makes it work up into P4. Solid move. And there comes Scott as well. Wyvern Skull falling back. Scott also to the grass there. He gets pushed a bit by Wyvern Skull. But into turn 11, Scott tries to go around the outside and he makes it work and he's up into P5. Wyvern Skull falling back. P6 and it's going to become P7 as Vapid goes down the inside into turn 13 and Vapid up to P6. Wyvern Skull within a sector or two has fallen from P3 down to P7. Wreckmeister sets the fastest lap. Scott has got past Kozlowski into turn 1 as well. And he's got DRS as well to help him stay ahead. There's been a yellow flag and Panda's retired coming out of turn 1. Not sure what happened there. It looks like he's into the wall as well. So only 9 drivers remain in this race. 7 retirements at the moment. Absolute scenes here in the first race of the season. Winai is 1.3 seconds away from Kashimri with 3 laps to go. 6.5 seconds is the gap to Wreckmeister. He's closing it very rapidly indeed. And behind they're going wheel to wheel into turn 9. Vapid Good is up to P5. He's got past Kozlowski onto the softs as well. So he's got the tire advantage. He's trying to work his way up the field. It's going to be a matter of time before he gets past Scott as well. On to lap 13. 3 laps to go in this race. Winai is 1.1 seconds wide to Kashimri, then it's 5 seconds to Wreckmeister. Scott is trying to cover the inside line. Vapid Good has the DRS through turns 1. Is he going to get a better exit there? Better run out of turn 1. Opens the DRS again. Is going to try to pull around the outside into turn 3. Who's going to break the latest? Scott tries to stick it on the inside, but it's not quite able to make it work. And Vapid Good up at the P4. And Scott has to settle for 5th at the moment. So he's keeping up with Vapid Good at the moment. And he will have DRS of course for this straight as well. Wreckmeister absolutely flying at the moment. 2.8 seconds, gained over 2 seconds already in these first 2 sectors alone. What is going on? Where Winai's got a puncture for Winai. That's like the 6th driver with a puncture, goes straight on. He fell back completely and I thought what's going on, and surely not, but another driver with a puncture, front right puncture, drops down to P6, lost his front wing as well, so must have hit the wall. There, Josh Boschman getting past Wyvern Skull. Winai getting out of the way of these cars. Of course, much slower with the puncture. And that leaves Kashimri in the lead. And Wreckmeister right behind him in P2. 3.6 seconds with 2 laps to go. This is going to be very close. Scott is still holding on to the back of Vapid Good. So is Kozlowski, and he's looking very close. He's trying to go down the inside into turn 2. Turn 3, not quite able to do so. He has to stick behind for the time being. Winai, yet another driver with a puncture. 1.9 seconds, 1.8. This is gonna be so close. With 1 lap to go, it's no ERS left for Kashimri. And we head on to the final lap and the gap is near enough 1 second. So Wreckmeister is not going to have DRS for these first 2 straights, but he is going to have it for the last 2 straights on this track, and that's going to be where he has to overtake him. Lesko also looking very close there, going a bit wide through turn 1 though. 8 tenths is the gap. Kashimri is leading, but for how much longer? He's got no ERS left in the battery. Wreckmeister might have some still left, and he's going a bit wide there, and Wreckmeister is going to go for it. To the inside, and Wreckmeister takes the lead on the final lap of this race. Wreckmeister is now in the lead of this race, got DRS as well, so Kashimri can't do anything to defend that position. And unfortunately on the final lap he loses the lead to Wreckmeister. Wreckmeister Gamer. Scott and Kozlesko fighting as well for position, but Scott manages to stay ahead. And Wreckmeister Gaming has manages to perfection on the final lap. He manages to take the lead and into turn 13. Turn 14, the final corner, onto the start-finish straight, and Wreckmeister Gamer is gonna win the first race of the season in Australia. Kashimri has to settle for second place after being overtaken on the final lap. Vapid Good completes the podium ahead of Scott and Kozlesko P4 and P5, and that's quite a gap to Josh Boschman in P6, who's going to finish ahead of Wirren Skull in 7th, Kalen 8th, and Winai in P9, who is probably going to get disqualified anyway. But Wreckmeister Gamer has done it. Wins the Victorian Grand Prix after his teammate crashed out with a puncture earlier on in the race. He held on, pushed on, and overtook Kashimri on the final lap to take the win. That's the first race completed. Get the podium. First win of the season goes to Wreckmeister Gamer. First win of this long season. With the fastest lap as well, so the full maximum points he can get. P2 on the grid. Final race results. Quite a lot of retirements. All due to the many punctures we saw. Well done. Now we move on to the second race of the night. The 35% race. The Australian Grand Prix. Round number 2 of the season. So Wreckmeister with that win advances to the playoffs. So very well done. In a few moments time we're gonna get this second race running. And it's time for the second race. Starting off with another one-shot qualifying session. Getting ready once again. So in a few minutes, second qualifying session. Let's see if everyone manages to wait this time. They didn't manage to do so. Someone readied up already. Quite comical at this point. Anyway, just gonna continue on. Starting off with the qualifying again. Point in restarting again. But it's difficult to keep up Scott in P1 at the moment, that's for sure. That Sim Racer quickly takes that position away from him. Like he did in the first race where he got pole position. Can he do it again for this race? Sector 1 is purple. Angelo Lissimo has retired. I think that's the second qualifying in a row. Simri as well. But he got either in validation or he crashed. And it's purple second sector as well for that sim race, but it didn't go very well through that S section. And Scott takes back the position 1 into the final sector. Can he hold on to that? That's the question. Bit wide though. To the penultimate corner, and that sim racer has taken it back, or has he? He's lost quite a few positions. That sim racer has messed up, and it's gonna be Scott across the line who takes pole position for the second race by 4/10 over Verbet Good in P2. Not sure what happened to that sim racer, but where he ended up we're gonna find out very shortly indeed. So Scott is on pole position by 4/10 over Verbet Good, and Kislesko is in P3 ahead of Wreckmeister Gamer, who won the first race of the season. Das is in P5 ahead of Josh Boschman, the Lone Wolf, then ahead of Winai. Then it's Sky, that sim racer, Kyle, Josh B, Wyvern Skull, the final to the lap time, and Kashimri, Angelo, and Panda hadn't set a lap time. So Scott on pole position for the second race. Is he going to be able to convert it into a race win? That sim racer is in P10. So if he didn't get any validation, he must have made a mistake in that final sector. Already went wide coming out of turn 10. And he has to start from P10, but as we saw in the first race, he is quite good at coming through the field, gaining positions, and he's going to have to do this again. We'll find out. Get ourselves ready for the second race. The second race of the night, the second race of the season. And I think someone has got rated up again. Yep, there we go. Once again. Anyway, formation lap. Nobody on mediums this time, so a good job on that. The top 4 is on hards. Then Tas, Josh Bosman, the Lone Wolf on the soft tires, and then it's Winai on hards again, as well as Kyle, the Wyvern Skull, and Angelissimo on hards. The rest on the softs. 20 laps this time, so 5 more laps than the first race. Scott going quite fast on this formation lap, with a sizable gap to Vapid Good. There's a massive gap forming. Whoa, that almost didn't go very well. It's that sim racer going very slow and he's creating an enormous gap to the cars ahead. Acting like an own safety car here at the moment. So the strategies at the bottom a bit irrelevant. The mediums. So Scott is already lined up on the grid, while the others are still going through the final sector. So the top 9 is now on the grid, and Kozlesko is disqualified, so he's matched up his parking. And there comes the rest of the field. Angelo is a bit far behind as well. Kyle is disqualified as well. Someone's going very horizontal, diagonal I should say, on the grid. And there we go, everyone has lined up. And in a moment we're gonna have these 5 red lights. There they go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights are on for the second race of the season. And the lights are out and we are underway. Who's gonna have the better start? Scott is still in the lead. Vapid Good in P2. Kozlesko holds on to P3, so the top 3 stay in position. Kozlesko very wide there, and there's a spin at the background. And there's multiple cars up in the background. And I think that's going to be another safety car. And Josh B is out. Angelissimo is also out. Josh Bosman has spun around. And it's a full safety car yet again. It's like a recreation of the real life 2023 Australian Grand Prix with cars spinning off everywhere. Kozlesko onto the grass as well. And Taz has moved up to P3. After being taken out in the first race, he is in a podium position. But nothing is going wrong for Scott and Vapid Good. They remain in P1 and P2. That Sim Racer has gained 4 position as well, up to P6. See who was had the best start of everyone. Yeah, that Sim Racer 4 positions gained. Panda from last on the grid moved up to P11. 5 positions gained. Kashimri's got a penalty and has lost his front wing. He can go onto the hards. The rest of them still have their front wing attached. Yeah, that. So, who is going to go into the pit lane? Top 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everyone's staying out. And Panda into the pit lane. Kashimri, of course, as well. Without front wing at the moment. So these are the only two into the pit lane from the softs. Onto the hards. Panda, no front wing change, so it's just a regular pit stop. Kashimri serving his penalty and replacing his front wing, so extra long pit stop, but better to do it under the safety car than in racing conditions. And he's out again in last position. The man who almost won the first race. Got quite the catch-up job to do. The front, it's pretty calm. Bergmeister Gamer in P5 at the moment. His teammate is right behind him. Hopefully no punctures for him this time. That'd be a real shame. That was Jos Bosman who made contact with Taz in turn 1, which sent him around. Even further behind there was cars bunching up into each other, causing our two first retirements of the second race. Safety car is staying out for another lap. One more lap before we get this race running again. Single race so far is all safety car in the first lap. Last week as well. It's quite the common theme. Alright. Safety car in this lap. Gonna resume this race on lap 4. Scott in P1. Like it was last race when the safety car came out. I wonder if he's gonna go as late as he was doing in the first race. The penultimate corner, safety car into the pit lane. Once again, still waiting, coming out of the final corner. Now he's going. A bit earlier than last time, but it's green flag racing again. Behind him it's quite a bunched up field there. Lap 4, we resume this race. Scott in the lead out of Vapid Coot. And Taz in P3 out of Kislesko. He's already looking at the back of him. That SimRacer has overtaken his teammate. And we've got a car off again, and it's just Bosman again in turn 1. Ooh, more contact in the midfield there. Kyle involved as well. Panda going around the outside. Kashimri trying to make up places. That SimRacer is making up places already up to P4. At the front, Vabitkoot is trying to go for the move on the inside of Scott. And Vabitkoot takes the lead, wheel banging almost there between the two of them. And into turn 9, Vabitkoot takes the lead there on lap 4. That Sim Racer already up at the P3, making moves everywhere. He's looking at the back of Scott now as well. Tries to go it, but doesn't quite go for the gap. Scott there with the switchback on the inside of turn 12. And it's a Sim Racer trying to go around the outside there with an amazing move there, and becomes the inside for the next turn. And that Sim Racer up at the P2 at the moment. On the soft compound tires as well, of course, but still he's making quite a lot of moves there. Kozlesko looking right at the back. And that Sim Racer is going for the lead into turn 1, and he takes the lead there on lap 5. That Sim Racer leading into turn 1. Vabitkoot in P2, Scott trying to go for the move as well. Into turn 3, has to go around the outside. Is he going to make it work? Not quite able to make it work. Vabitkoot holds on to that P2 position for the time being. Shimmy into the pit lane. So maybe some sort of damage to his car. Last race's winner, Wreckmeister Gamer in P6 at the moment. Trying to work his way up the field. Very, very close into turn 9, but it's not really an overtaking opportunity there. There he goes, pulls to the outside line. And he brakes very much later, Kozlesko lets him through. And Wreckmeister Gamer up at the P5. Now right behind Taz in P4, and with a switchback there. It's gonna turn it to the outside. But he waits for the time being. The outside here again. Almost onto the grass, I think it was. Now with a better exit in the slipstream. Blowing his ERS probably, but not quite able to go for a move yet. DRS has been enabled this lap. Maybe with a better exit. That's all over the place there through turns 1 and 2. But Kozlesko is there as well. And Wreckmeister Gamer has to defend his position. Behind Winai going for a move on the Lone Wolf. And Winai up to P7. His teammate Panda is in P9 right behind him as well. Kozlesko looking very close again to Wreckmeister Gamer. Is he go for a move on turn 9? I don't think he is. Takes the benefit. And Scott has got a 3-second time penalty for track limits. It is already on lap 6 with 14 laps to go. He's got a penalty himself. That's put him in a disadvantage already. That Sim Racer is checking out of this race already with 3 seconds gap. And it's just Bosman off into the gravel again there. This time coming out of turn 10. With a pretty horrific race for him so far. That Sim Racer. Fastest lap of the race, Wreckmeister up at the P4. Working his way up the field. His teammate is in P1 and taking a few positions. Kozlesko also trying to go down the inside of turn 3. Are they going wheel to wheel test now on the inside? Kozlesko tries to go around the outside there, and he's trying to make it work, and he has made it work. That's an incredible move there. Up at the P5. Well done. It was Wyvern Skull who had a moment as well. Absolutely fighting it out here for P6. Winai is looking for the move as well. Scott is overtaking Vabitkoot for P2. Does have the penalty to go, almost going 3 wide at turn 9. Winai up to P5, Kozlesko P6. 4 cars in very close contention here. There comes Panda trying to go around the outside, almost contact between the two. And Taz remains in P7 for the time being. They're fighting now, there's contact, and Kozlesko being spun around there by Taz, and it's a virtual safety car. That very handy for Kozlesko, who's just been tapped from behind. And Taz into the pit lane. with front wing damage, without a front wing actually. So a new nose. Because let's go into the pits as well. Sky. Also with front wing damage. So second neutralization of this race. Would have been a great opportunity for that sim racer to pit, but VC already ended. Got 3.5 seconds as a gap to Scott in P2. So the top 9 here, top 8 I'm sorry, very close to each other. That sim racer staying out. Teammates here, Winai and Panda in P5 and P6. Nice job. They won't collide like two Alpines. Lone Wolf has got himself a 3-second penalty as well. Whoa, Kyle pulling out aggressively to the outside of the track. Gets past the Lone Wolf though, and he's up into P7. Winner of the second dress rehearsal race last week. And he's letting him through. So he's let the Lone Wolf through, and not sure why. Didn't seem like an illegal overtake to me, but pretty odd. Rapid good. Very close to Scott again. And that sim racer responded. He's crashed into his teammate! He's crashed into his teammate. He rejoined the jack, and his teammate, there's nothing he could have done. And they, out of all the cars that he could have rejoined the circuit to, it's his own teammate, and they are both out of the race. Unbelievable. He crashed out of the first race with a puncture. In the second race he spun or something, rejoins the circuit and just straight into his own teammate. Well done. Lone Wolf into the pit lane, but Vapid Good is now in the lead, and it's become a battle for the lead between these two, Vapid and Scott. Absolute incredible scenes here. Cannot write that. The Lone Wolf has gone on to mediums. Allowed. It's an unfortunate. Entire field on the hards, except for him and Kislesko. Scott, is he gonna go for the move again? Pulls to the outside. And to turn 10 tries to go around the outside, and there is space. Vapid Good leaves him enough space. And he's gonna turn the outside line, they're going wheel to wheel into the final sector. Scott goes a bit wide into the gravel. And has to stay behind him for the time being. Vapid Good elbows out there. Kyle into the pit lane as well, and Sky is retired. Coming out of turn 10. Probably went on the curb or like that. Not sure what happened there. But that's yet another retirement in this race. 11 drivers remaining. And these two are still going at it. Halfway into this race. Panda and Winai, the two teammates in P3 and P4 at the moment. Looking very handy indeed. But quite a big gap to Kislesko, and I'm missing this out again. Scott taking the lead. Finally out of Vapid Good. Where's Scott DRS again? No, he's not. Scott has DRS. Totally missed that overtake. Panda looking quite pacey as well here. 1.8 seconds is the gap to him and the two leaders ahead. Scott going into the pit lane just after he is overtaking Vapid Good. From the hards onto the softs. Prince Skull into the pit lane as well. He's gonna do the same thing. Scott comes out in P4. Ahead of Kieslewski by 1.5 seconds. So he's got clean air ahead of him. Try and close that gap. And hopefully create a 3-second gap after Vapid Good pits. That's his objective at the moment. There he goes, Vapid Good into the pit lane. So is he gonna come out ahead of Kieslewski or behind him? Winai into the pit lane as well. All going onto a new set of softs. There's Kieslewski, but where is Vapid Good? And Kieslewski is ahead, crucially there, so there's a car in between of Scott and Vapid Good at the moment. And Scott has got a 3.6 second gap to Vapid Good, which is enough at the moment. Kieslewski has already also got a penalty, so he's not gonna have to worry about that. And Winai has come out in all sorts of traffic here. Down in P8. Eight laps to go in this race. Vapid Good is closing in on Kieslewski. 1 second is the gap. Skull with a 3-second penalty as well. So everyone has stopped but Panda. Well, needs to do 6 more laps on these very old hard tires. He's got a 9-second gap though to Scott, who's just at the fastest lap, 1:99. Well, 9 seconds. It's actually 12 seconds if you count the penalty. So Scott will have to gain a minimum of 2 seconds per lap on Panda. Try and see if he can do that. Vapid Good has got past Kieslewski there. Into turn 3. A solid move and he's up into P3. 4.2 seconds behind Scott, so all he has got to do is try and get within those 4 seconds. Because Scott, of course, has that 3-second time penalty. Winai is making his way up the field as well. Up to P7. Got past Cal. Now chasing after the Lone Wolf in P6. Who's still in the mediums. So is probably gonna get disqualified after the race. Six laps to go. This Australian Grand Prix. Winai has lost his front wing there. He's driven into the back of the Lone Wolf. And he just completely takes him out there. That's very unnecessary. What are you guys doing? Unfortunately, it didn't cause a safety car, but that was completely unnecessary. Both of them retiring as well. Probably for the better. Vapid Good, 3.8 seconds is the gap between him and Scott. So he's closing in by just a couple of tenths every lap. With this pace he might be able to get within that 3-second window. That was a spin for Josh Boschman. Was first of the day. I mean, what is this? It's another leak, Richie. Commentary in my free time. If you don't mind. And that's the second 3-second time penalty for Scott, and that's gonna make his life very difficult. Because Vapid Good is within those 6 seconds. With almost 4 laps to go. There's no way that Scott is gonna be ahead of Panda by the end of this race. .7 seconds, and Vapid Good is 3.5 seconds behind. Now there's 5 laps remaining in this race. It's between this man, Panda, Pat Cheetah, and Vapid Good. Because Scott isn't really a factor anymore at this point with the 6-second time penalty. Vapid Good has reduced the gap to under 3 seconds. What he needed to do before Scott got his second penalty. He went on the grass there, but I think yeah, he did. Lost a couple of tenths, so it's now 3.1 again. Three laps to go. Suddenly, the Panda is looking very comfortable at the moment. He's got 5.7 seconds to Vapid Good. He's never going to close that gap within 3 laps, and overtake him as well. Closing the gap is one thing, but he needs to overtake him as well before the finish line. As he's gaining time, obviously, on the Panda's on 16 lap old hard tires compared to 5 lap old soft tires. Scott is closing in rapidly, 2.2 seconds, but doesn't really matter with that 6-second time penalty. And Vapid Good is not closing in fast enough. 5 seconds is the gap still with 2 laps to go. 1.8. On to the penultimate lap of this race. Big slide there into turn 1 for Scott. .6. Can he get within the DRS? Needs to drive the best third sector he's done. Needs to gain 6 tenths there, 5 tenths. He's not gonna have DRS for the first 2 straights. .1 seconds as we move on to the final lap of this race. The gap is 1 second. Just like the first race, the gap was 1 second on the final lap, but this time the number 2 driver has an 6 second time penalty. But still, you can overtake him on track. Rapid Good is doing all he needs to do to secure that second place at the moment. 8 tenths, 9 tenths is the gap. So Scott will have the DRS. Kyle gets a 3 second time penalty. He's not gonna do anything. So Scott will have DRS for both of these straights. Is he gonna be able to do something into the final sector? Scott gotta get another 3 second time penalty. Doesn't even matter anymore. He's gonna finish P3 anyway. He's gonna get very, very close to the back. Maybe into turn 13 he's gonna go for it, but probably the only opportunity he has. Is he gonna try to go down? He said no, he isn't. He's gonna stay behind. As we come through the final corner of the final lap of this race. It's gonna be a drag race to the line. Scott pulls out to the inside and he takes it. But Panda Pat Cheetah wins in the end after penalties being applied. Vapid Good finishes second in the end, and Scott 29 thousandths of a second was the gap between the two of them. Absolute photo finish. Incredible stuff. Kislesko finishes P4. Scott with the final podium position, and Taz in P5 ahead of Kyle, and Kashimri will finish 7th. Wyvern Skull and Josh Boschman, the only other finishers in this race. A phenomenal drive there for Panda Pat Cheetah, who wins the second race of the season. So very well done to them. Scott tried everything, but with the penalties he wasn't able to make it work, and Vapid Good just a few laps short. Maybe, but we'll never know. Panda wins, gets the driver of today as well, for good measure. Raising the Dutch flag there. Take the P1 trophy. Seen quite some action, and Panda winning from last to first. I didn't even realize that, but that's absolute insane. 16th on the grid, he turned it into first position. Photo finish with Scott. Incredible stuff. Quite a lot of retirements again This time no punctures actually, so it's an improvement. An improvement. Jos Boschman takes the fastest lap, but no points awarded for that. Anyway, that was the first 2 rounds of the season. Victorian Grand Prix. And the Australian Grand Prix. Wreckmeister Gamer winning the first race. And Panda Pat Cheetah wins the second race. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And next week gonna be the next 2 races of the season. The Qatar Grand Prix and the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix on the 29th of January. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching and goodbye.